Hanging out with you on a Thursday. Clemson Sports Talk again on Twitter at Clemson Sports. And, the Tigers taking on Georgia Tech this weekend. Had a chance to catch up with Roddy Jones yesterday. And, we're trying a new thing here. We're going to re-rack these shows in the evenings as well. And the numbers look pretty good on it. So I don't see why I wouldn't do it. So at the top of the hour, if you're watching the stream, it's going to drop off. And then we'll come back with hour number 2. So pick it up there if you are a part of the program. All right, let's see. Brandy says, anywhere the Natty is and we're in it. Yeah, touche. I think, look, whether it's California, whether it's Tampa, Florida, whether it's Indianapolis, Indiana, where the championship is this season, which that's weird enough, but no doubt about that. Road games, however, for Tiger fans in the regular season, is the thing that I think so many of us, even before Clemson was at an elite level where they're playing now, like sometimes that was better than your bowl game. Sometimes that, like going to Tallahassee and taking on Florida State when they're at the top of the mark, when they're one of the best teams in the country, dude, give me that. And again, I think, when I think about the memories too that you make, whether it's in college and you load up a car, you pack up with like 4 or 5 roommates and drive to these games. But when I was at Clemson as a junior, can't remember if it was my first, second, or third junior year, but as a junior, when I was at Clemson, we had a game on the road at NC State. And I had been up there before because I was a textile major. And so that's the big textile bowl, right? And I'm sitting in the upper deck. My family's there. And all of a sudden, this guy that I had seen, like maybe he lived in Johnstone, I wouldn't say I, quote, knew him, comes up to us, and I guess he recognized me. And his face, now this is inside the game, his face looks like somebody has taken a cheese grater to it. And he's like, hey, man, how you doing? Now, trust me, if your face looks like you've had a cheese grater taken to it, it probably should be hurting. I mean, look, I'm no doctor. And I certainly didn't stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. And I am not skilled in the art of pain management nor human pain levels. But if your face looks like it's been raked over by a cheese grater and you don't feel it, you probably had a little too much to drink.
You fellas been doing a bit of boozing, have you? Sucking back on Grandpa's old cough medicine?
Yeah, to a high degree, apparently. And he's like, dude, I fell in the parking lot. Doesn't show. He's like, does it look bad? And we didn't have cell phones then. Like, you couldn't take a picture and show the guy what his face looked like. I mean, where's I going to tell him, look at the reflection? Here, buddy, check out your reflection in my drink. Can you see it in the water? Can you see it in the Coke? I'm like, yeah, dude, it looks pretty bad. You might want to go to the EMS and get that checked out because it looks like a cheese grater has been rubbed up and down on your face. And he never came back. So honestly, I never saw that guy again. He may have perished in that stadium for all I know, but that's a true story. And it's also true that game, NC State was winning. And I think the quarterback's last name was Barnett, Jamie Barnett. Boy, if I nail that one, if you Google it, and Jamie Barnett was the quarterback at NC State in like 1997, dude, 1,000 points to me. I'm sorry, I get them. But they're winning, and their band comes up to where we are to play their fight song. Now, look, Clemson's band goes around the stadium and plays Tiger Rag or the small snippet of Tiger Rag to each little section. This was the upper deck, and this was where the opposing fans were sitting. It wasn't like I was sitting in a section of a bunch of NC State people. And they came up and played it. My dad's my dad's throwing Coca-Colas. People are chunking ice. I mean, it's just like, first off, Clemson fans at that point were still very well. You guys still are, but you're just winning a lot, so we don't see the bad side, right? Like you guys are like the spoiled kids who everything's going really great for right now. Let Clemson start losing some games. You guys will be throwing stuff, throwing shoes, throwing whatever you can, throwing ice. Fire Dabo. Coach Swanny's lost it. You're in there the end, Dabo. Like, you know this guy. He's sitting beside you probably. He is sitting beside you or behind you. The guy that bails at any, like, this is the guy, if he was in a plane and there was turbulence, he's pulling the parachute. I'm out. Like, they can't have one bump in the road. You got to be riding on glass for these guys to be happy. You know them. They're in Death Valley on Saturdays. Fire Tony Elliott. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's the only coach just to, been assistant coach, taking you to 2 national championships, hoisting the trophy, one of the better offenses in college football since he's been there. He doesn't have a clue. I can do it better. Yeah, you're barely hanging on to the job you're working right now, Pops. What are you talking about? All that being said, these venues that we go to, especially during the regular season, man, it can get wild. It can get wild. I'll tell you that. It can get nutty. 803-450-0086, text line, phone line. All right, I said before we were going to get into a conversation about a subject that came up yesterday. Man, I even got some calls on it like, Swanny, what are you hearing on this? What do you know on that? And I'm like, man, I have not heard anything on that front. But we'll tell you what it was. And again, it is one of the tough parts of this business, in all fairness. And that is making sure that what you say you have is actually what is happening. And it can be rather tough. It's one of the reasons why, not kidding you, I'd rather be last and right than first and incorrect. I'll tell you that much. So I'll give you the rundown on what happened yesterday and how that all played out when we get back here on the show that shakes the Southland. 803-450-0086. Text line, phone line. Stick with us through the break. It is Clemson Sports Talk.